Welcome to Stories from the Coop. Ever wonder how brilliant businesses hatch, nurture, and thrive? Join us as we crack open the journeys of Project 3810 eggheads. Get ready to hear exceptional stories, because who needs boring business talk when you got this? Let's get cracking.
Today on Stories from the Coop, we have Norma Lopez with Chloebella Handcrafted. So, Norma, what made you seek out Project 3810 and the egghead community?
It was actually an accident. I was wallowing in my woes in my bed because I had just quit my career and was second guessing my life decisions starting this business. And my sister called me and said there was this place called Project 3810 that had a free marketing class. And I said, "Oh, are we going?" And she said, "No, you're going." And I said, "Okay." So I got myself up, I went to the class, and just my luck, the owner, Vicki Langford from Project 3810, sat right next to me, and that's how it actually got started. I introduced myself, and she invited me to the business showcase they had that evening, and that's how I was presented to the community.
Nice. And what were you hoping to find or achieve by joining our community?
I was hoping to understand and learn the next steps of how to run a business, not just how to create and sell a product. So once I was able to tour the building and understood what Project 3810 was about, I realized that there was a huge opportunity here for learning and growth from other entrepreneurs that are in the same boat as me or already ahead, that I could just jump on the coattails of what they know.
So what is your business, and how did the idea get started?
So my business is named Chloebella Handcrafted after my cats, Chloe and Bella. And it started during the pandemic. I was working virtually for another big company, locked in the house like everyone else, and Chloe and Bella were there. And I've always struggled with my skin. I'm an ex-hairstylist, so I have dyshydrotic eczema from all the water and chemicals. And I could never find products for myself that don't irritate my skin. So while I was at home in my PJs, not figuring out what time it is, working virtual, I thought, let me go ahead and dibble and dabble and figure out, see if I can create something for myself. So after some research and development, getting Chloe and Bella's opinions, I decided to create some lip scrubs and handmade soaps. And I presented it to some people. I did a pop-up and to family, and they loved it. And it just kind of turned into a business from there.
Wow, nice. What were your first impressions of the Project 3810 community environment? Did anything surprise you?
Yes, I love the fact that even though you're your own business owner and you own your own business, the way that this building works is as a community. It's almost like one big company because we're networking together so closely. So everyone owns their own business, but everyone is usually very friendly and helpful as a community. So if I have a question or I want to test a new scent out, I can go to my neighbor in the neighboring office or manufacturing space and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" So it's like having a team within your business, but you just have that close community. And I was really impressed by that.
And what were your biggest hopes and maybe even a few fears or uncertainties as you took the leap to join the egghead community?
One of my fears was not being able to deliver after basically putting my business out there. That fear of not being able to deliver once you have already offered a product. I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to make it. But one of the things that I realized was with the manufacturing space comes a lot of perks and support. So that helped me a lot to bear down on those fears.
So thinking back to your first few weeks or months, what's one key resource, connection, or piece of advice you received early on that stood out to you?
Vicki Langford spent a lot of time with me within the first 4 to 6 weeks. She would check in with me weekly, and we would go over different topics every week, and not just about creating a product, but she said, "How are we doing on inventory control? Do you have a system in place for this? Do you have time management for this?" Just the analytical side of how to run a business, not just how to create products, was the most beneficial. How to have an inventory structure to be able to account for product inventory and ingredient inventory, the differences in cost and scheduling of how to purchase things. That was the biggest win that I had, and eye-opening part that I learned in the first few weeks from Vicki.
We always ask our eggheads, how do you like your eggs?
Ooh, I think I like them over easy.